Hi there. I wasn't expecting to do any trading today, but the golf is off, so some unexpected in-running scalping I thought I'd do today. There's 4 meetings on. Bath is a no-goer. It's a very tight track and it's mainly sprints that are there today, so we'll give that a miss. We've got 2 jumps meetings at Carlisle and Exeter, and there's another meeting at Leopardstown as well, which I'll do, but I'll only do those races that are longer than a mile. There's a few sprints there as well, but I'll give those a miss as far as the in-running scalping is concerned. So much the same as before, however there's one change I've made, and that is I've set up a automated script that will essentially just pop in my initial opening positions rather than me having to click numerous times just after the race has started. So it'll save me, I don't know, 12, 16 clicks perhaps, depending on the race. So that's only going to be putting in the initial bets. I'll still be manually doing the rest of the in-running scalping. So it's just to save me the clicking at the beginning. So we're just waiting for this race to begin. Once that's off and running, we'll see everything in action. They're just currently loading at Leopardstown, so we should be off and running fairly shortly. Just a couple of things. The automation also has a green up for £10, so that should kick in hopefully at some point in the race. The other thing to note is that it's limited in terms of the odds as well, so it's still going to put in the bets, which are just going in there. As long as the odds are less than sort of 5.5, that'll put them in. So that should fire the green up. Yep, green up's fired. You'll see another trade has gone in there. So we'll just manually trade out for the £10, and that's it. Oh, that was nice and quick. Right, on to the next one. While they're loading in the second race at Leopardstown, let me just run through a couple of things that I didn't get a chance to say in the first race because everything happened so quickly. The initial bets that get put into the market, there's only a small window when that happens, so that's 5% to 15% of the elapsed time. That's that small window when those initial bets will be put in. So I won't get manually involved until after there's less than 85% of the race left. In addition to that, I really need to update the automation with some audio warning to let me know that the green up has happened, but that'll have to wait for another day. Okay, so we're just about to go. Let's hope this one goes as well as the last one. As I said earlier, I won't be doing all the races at Leopardstown today. Some of them are actually sprints, 5-7 furlongs. So we'll ignore those. Okay, should be going very shortly. So at the moment, the way the odds are, it's only the favourite Harbour Gem that will get involved by the initial automated bet submission. Everything else is above 5.5. So there's the initial bet going in, and as you can see it's just Harbour Gem, and then Wingspan has come down enough to qualify. So now we've got past the 85% mark. I can get manually involved if I so wish. So you see we've only got Wingspan left. I can go back in on Harbour Gem, but that's the green up process just fired. All nicely greened up. You see how that another bet was submitted there. That's the issue with the repeat on success when you're using green ups. But that 5, so you see there it just keeps on looping around unless I clear that manually to make sure it gets cancelled out of the way. So it's something you need to keep an eye on if you're using repeat on success with an automated green up. It can actually stick further bets in when you're not looking. Okay, on to the first at Carlisle. Okay, they're about to go to the first at Carlisle. This isn't necessarily a sensible pick because of the very short priced favourite, but I forgot to put in a minimum odds filter in the automation, so we'll just let it go for the purposes of this video. But if you do get involved in a race like this, just be ready to bail early at the slightest sign that things aren't going well. So you need to be a little bit more vigilant. But again, as you'll see from the odds, it's likely just to be the favourite that will get involved, certainly initially. So hopefully that will trade out fairly early on. Okay, that's us just setting off now.
It is now in play.
So the bet will just go in any second. Okay, there you go. So again, I'm just keeping an eye on this and get involved again manually once it reaches past 85%. This is sort of what happens, however, when you do get involved in something so low in price, usually on a novice. The favourite is so well fancied it tends to keep its price quite low. So if this shows any sign of going above 30, I'm going to bail. Yeah, let's take that. I just don't like these races. My own fault, I forgot to put that filter in. Just for information purposes more than anything else, just be careful of races like that. It may well be that this runner will drift significantly later on in the race, but you often find in novice races where there's a very short price favourite, they're so well fancied, they just hold their price for vast periods of the race. So we'll take that hit and move on to the next one. Moving on to Exeter, 225. We've got a similar type of race in that we've got a short price favourite, but nowhere near as bad as in the previous race. This was a matter of interest. As suspected, the favourite in the previous race barely drifted at all throughout the race. I think it touched about 1.3, 1.31, which might have been enough to clear the initial first round of trades, but there may well still have been difficulty there. So I was wise to get out when I did. However, I knew what the dangers were from past experience, and so I should never really have got involved. As I say, I forgot to put the filter in on the automation, so those bits were going to go in. If I come across another race like that, I shall just cancel that automation before it kicks off. As I say, we've got a short price favourite here, same sort of thing, but it shouldn't be quite as bad, so we'll just let this one go, and the bets will be going in shortly. Again, it's just going to be the favourite that will get involved initially. But again, I need to keep an eye on this. Always need to be wary of these short price favourites when you're doing the in-running scalping. Okay, some of the trades actually working through, and that's the green up position being fired now. So let's just cancel everything else, and we'll take that £12. Good. That's the way I like it. In and out in less than a minute. Perfect. Okay, moving on to the next. Okay, off and running in the next at Carlisle, 2 mile race. The bits will still be going in here. There we go. So we've got a number of runners selected. As usual, just a case of waiting for these to settle. Let that get down to 85 first before I get involved again manually. I may change that to 90 actually. Save me hanging around for too long. Okay, so we can manually get into this one.
Fairbot races in 4th place. That's the grey horse alongside old adversary Nettywell. White with the red seams. Duodon Fur comes next. And then behind these track towards the outside with Cavetier.
This one looks okay as well.
Struggling to keep up the old boy.
So we've got Chase of Fortune, so the other two don't have anything outstanding on them, so we can go back into those manually.
Chase of Fortune, Danny McMenamin, yellow jacket, leads Ritson in the orange and red. Fear for Lead in the yellow and green. Then towards the outside is the grey, which is Travail of Fairbot, who's on the outside of Nettywell, white and red on the running rail. Duodon Fur and the check still racing keenly in the noseband from Heretier.
So movement appears to be a little bit slow in this race. So I may actually manually come out before we hit the £10 green up a position. Let's see how we get on. We're pretty close anyway, so. Right, we're halfway. No further involvement in terms of any new bets. Just keep an eye on this, see if we can get at the £10.
5 bets in the back, 2 on this part of the racecourse, and then a right-hand turn for the other 3. Leading the field is Chase of Fortune, who approaches the next.
It's been pretty static, really.
All over with Nettywell in 4th place on the inside of.
Right, so we've just got the one bet on Travail d'Orfèvre, I think you pronounce that.
Greening up.
There we go, there's the greening up signal. Let's just make sure we get that £12 across the board. Splendid. Okay, on to the next. Okay, 6th race of the day, 2 mile 7 furlong handicap hurdle at Exeter. Just started, the bet should be going in shortly. There we go. So it's just gone in on River's Corner initially. Again, I'll wait till that comes down to 85% and start looking at getting involved in anything else. Yeah, I think I will reduce it actually. I think I'll take it down to 90%. Very close to greening up actually. There we go. So let me just cancel that and take that £14. Lovely. Okay, that's that one done. Off to Carlisle next. Back at Carlisle for the 3:22, 2.5 mile handicap chase. And once again, just a case of sitting back and letting the bets be submitted automatically. And there we go, so we've got a few runners picked out here. So I'll just hang fire till some of these have cleared away. Right, I can go back in. All the bets have been submitted, so there's no fear in me going in again just now. So there's only 2 qualifying runners really.
Greening up.
There we go, greened up again. Let's just make sure we get the £10 there. Thank you very much. Lovely. Done and dusted again after a minute. So we'll go off to Leopardstown now. Over in Ireland now for a 1 mile 2 furlong race. Odds on favourite, so again we need to keep a sharp eye on this just in case.
Greening up.
In fact we've just greened up apparently. Let's see if these get taken, otherwise I'll cancel and manually trade out. Perfect. Okay, here's what Ocean of Dreams needs to drift to 5-4 to clear away that, but I may actually just manually clear that out. Okay, £13. Again, nice and quick. That's what we like to see. Okay, just waiting for this 3 mile 6 furlong handicap chase to start at Exeter. We're barely halfway through the afternoon, in fact, so if you're still with me, congratulations, thank you for that. Click on the subscribe button and click on the like button, that all helps the channel. And obviously if you've got any questions or any comments to make, just pop them down below this video.
This market is now in play.
Right, off and running at Exeter. It being 3 mile 6 furlong, this is going to take 7+ minutes. But hopefully we'll be out fairly shortly. So there should be 3 runners, I think, getting involved initially. Okay, so just sit back and relax and let these loop round. Hopefully we'll be greening out very shortly. Okay, just Compwell Legend involved yet, but so we can go into the other ones. Get involved in them again. See if we can scalp a few more ticks. With it being such a long race, there's plenty of time to assess where we are and what we're doing.
This event will start in 1 minute.
Right, no hubs, no hoops is looks like it might be putting us in a little bit of bother all of a sudden. It's dipped down fairly sharply, so I'm not going to get involved in anything else just yet. We'll see how that develops. Needs to drift up to 4.1. As I mentioned in one of the videos last week, what you can do if you think one of your runners is going to stick on a red for a while, you can always trade out of it, and because it's at a lower odds you can just go back in again, essentially reset at a lower price, keeping in mind that you're obviously taking a hit on that runner initially, but with the view to clawing that back. So if he doesn't start drifting fairly soon, I may just do that. Yes, I'm going to do that just now, reassess things. Let's go back in once more. Let's see if we can claw some of that back, and then I'll think about getting out. Nah, this isn't really going for me. I'm going to take the £11, £10 loss. Let's just come out of that. I just didn't like the look of the way that runner was going. No hubs, no hoops. So let's just take the small hit there and move on to the next one. just skipped ahead into this race and have a quick look at no hubs, no hoops. And you can see he hasn't really drifted from where I got out. So it was the right decision. It was the right decision. Okay, he spiked a couple of times, so we might have been able to get out then, but that was a good decision. I just didn't like the way that race was developing. So let's move on to the next one. Well, away we go at Carlisle once more. 3 mile handicap chase. So there's the bets going in now. Just the one on Breeze of Wind, the one runner involved. Right, so they've all cleared without being taken, so I can actually manually go into Breeze of Wind before the 85% position is reached. This looks like it's going to be one of those races where things are very slow. Alright, so Breeze of Wind's been cleared from with the filler kill, so we can go back in again. Plenty of time in this 3 mile race, of course. We're barely a quarter of the way round yet. Nothing much else is moving though, so I might come out of this early. There doesn't seem to be a great deal of movement. Let's just go in and Breeze of Wind for the last time. See if he gets matched on any, and then I think I might just come out if none of this gets taken. Now I'm going to scratch this, I think. I don't like the way it's not going. Yeah, let's just scratch that. That was a bit of a non-event. On to the next one. Back across to Leopardstown now for a 1 mile 2 furlong handicap. So hopefully this one will get done and dusted fairly quickly. Well, this doesn't look very promising with Chantilly. Looks like they're dominating it. Looks like I might have to take a big hit on this one. Let's just come out of here before you get any worse. That did not go very well. Chantilly didn't look like getting challenged at all, really. Certainly up to now. We might be lucky if Slaney Swagger comes down a bit. Reduce the red there a little bit. It doesn't look like it. Right, that's a bummer. That was a sore one. Okay, next race, off to Exeter. Well, the races are coming thick and fast at the moment. Had a little bit of a poor run all of a sudden. Let's see if this one can turn things around for us. Okay, let's go back in now that most of them are sorted. Some Imperial Saint we can look at. Again, we've got ourselves off into a losing position, which is a bit disappointing. I've got to come out of King of the Lake shortly. Yeah, this one's not going too great for me either. Let's just come out of you before you get any worse. Okay, so going back in King of the Lake at the lower odds, hopefully be able to claw back some of the losses that are sitting on him. We'll take this race a little bit longer than we have been doing in recent ones. What we've got, Imperial Saint's the only one that's still got a back bet on him. I'll see how we're getting on, but I'm probably going to get out round about here. This is more of a riskier strategy, of course, as you've seen in the past week. Nah, it's not happening, is it? It's not happening. Right, let's just take this, I think. Another hit. Ah, it's very disappointing. What a terrible run. Okay, off to Carlisle next. Okay, I'm just waiting for this 3-mile race at Carlisle to start. I have to say it's been an appalling last hour. I have 4 losers in a row. The one at Leopardstown was particularly painful. To be honest, that's one of the reasons why I do not use the in-running scalping technique as my main strategy. I find, certainly for me anyway, I find it requires intense concentration all the time. And it's okay for 1 or 2 races, but when I'm trying to do it for a full afternoon, as I am doing today for the purposes of this video, I find it very easy for my brain just to lose focus. And that's not unusual when I've tried it in the past. So for me, as I say, the odd race here and there, it works well, but trying to maintain that focus is quite difficult, I find. It's very similar in actual fact to pre-race trading. Same thing, I find it very difficult to maintain focus doing that, which is one of the reasons why I don't do it. Anyway, on to this race here. We've got 6 races left. So we'll see how we get on. I've got, let me see, I'm £48 down now. Let's see if I can recover that over the next 6 races. So we're just waiting for this one to get going.
This market is now in play.
So must try and remain focused, as they say. Let's see how we go. But yeah, we've had a run of 4 very poor races, both in terms of what's happening on the course and my reactions to it. Okay, got a few bets in there, not many of them getting taken at the moment, so that's Houston, Texas is the only one that's been involved. So we can get involved in all the others. There's quite a few selections here, so this might be entertaining. Nice to see some green. Keep an eye on Houston, Texas, just in case it gets too away with us. Alright, let's come out of you before you go too far. You've no idea how much I'm concentrating. Again, I'm not seeing the sort of movements that we were getting in the first half a dozen races earlier on today. And things are very sort of static and just don't like the way any of it's going. Right, I'm not going to get involved again. We'll just see how this goes. See how these ones pan out. I may end up just taking a very, very small green just for confidence reasons more than anything else. Elvis Small, where are you? Yeah, the market's just not really doing anything that inspires me, so let's just grab that couple of quid just for the hell of it, and we'll move on to the next one. Back across the Irish Sea, let's see how we get on at Leopardstown, 1 mile handicap. And we've actually gone past, so none of the odds were qualifiers. Didn't drop low enough for the automation to submit the bets. And given that we are, well, it's a 1 mile handicap, nothing's coming in so far, so yeah, I'm just going to leave this. I'm not going to get involved. So let's give this one a miss and skip on to the next one.
Play.
Right, 3 mile handicap chase at Exeter now. Looks like the favourite Colleen Moore is likely to be the only pick initially. Still a bit high though. Again, if nothing gets selected by the time we get to 85%, there's every chance I might bail from this one. The percentage remaining figure seems to be awfully slow at coming down. I don't know if there's an issue with Fairbot. But yeah, it doesn't look like anything's going to get selected now. So again, I think I'm going to bail from this one as well. Yeah, let's just come out of this one. Last one at Carlisle, and the first 3 in the market are likely to be automatically submitted. There we go. So let's just let those look through. Doesn't look like Robbie's going to get taken, so I'll be able to jump in on that one. And Hell's Gateway. It's interesting, in the past few races it's really struggled to get to the green up point, but there we go just now. So £9.90, thankfully, nice and easy, about time. We'll just take that and move on to the next one at Leopardstown. It's unlikely that the automation will pick any selections in this race at Leopardstown, so we may well nip on to the next. Yeah, odds too high, so we'll just jump on to the last at Exeter for the day. Right, the last race for this video. Let's see if we can finish off with a green. That would be nice. I'm currently 36 quid down on the day. Okay, so there's the bets coming in. Just Piley Master's the only one there, so let's just jump in on Mount Mason. The other ones are just a wee shade too high for the moment. And we can go back in on Mount Mason again. And keep an eye on Piley Master though. Mustn't let it get too far ahead of us. Mount Mason needs to come up a little bit. Nothing else exciting. Right, let's just come out of you before you go too far. Yeah, it wasn't taken. Come on. Yeah, my get out point wasn't taken, so and it's carried on shortening, so I'm in all sorts of bother now. Typical. Nothing else is coming in. Oh, I've completely rabbit in the headlights moments, chaps. Oh, dearie me. Come on, Ali. Right, this is 8 lengths clear according to the commentary. I think I'm just going to have to take the hit. It's not going to go anywhere, is it? It's just annoying it never took that 4. I knew it was time to get out, but it just didn't take it. Let's just cancel those. Come on. I'm trying to pay attention to the commentary just now. See if this is going to come up any.
So into the turn they go. Shortly to have the wind at their tails as they head inside the last half mile or so. And Piley Master, who's got clear heading off down the far side, is slowly having the lead whittled away now. He's down to 5 lengths. James Bandit Get Cracking remains in second just ahead of Venus Queen.
Come on.
Fourth, and then Prophecy from Go Johnny Go and third.
No, lost it.
So heading to the top of the straight, Piley Master in front. Get may come. Mount Mason in the dark blue is up to dispute third with Venus Queen and then
This is not how to trade the in-running scalping technique, chaps.
greening up.
Yeah, jammy git. Don't do that, ever. That was just today's frustration getting the better of me there, and I got a lucky break. Granted, I was listening to the commentary, and he was getting caught, so it was worthwhile hanging on, which goes back to this idea of taking bigger risks. But that was a particularly big risk there, and I wouldn't recommend doing that. Anyway, summing up today, horrible. Started off right, a tale of two halves really. But come 3:30, everything, I just completely started to lose my concentration really. And that last race there was an example of the dangers of getting caught in the headlights there. Granted, as I say, I was listening to the commentary, I was trying to gain some sort of feedback on what might be happening with Piley Master, so I was happy to hang on, but really I should have got out. I tried to get out, but it didn't get taken. So in the end, I've wound up with 21 quid or so, £20. Not my best moment. But that gives you an example of a whole range of different things you need to look out for if you're doing the in-running scalping technique. Like I say, I don't like doing this for prolonged periods of time because I find it very, very tiring. Let me just come out of that one, we don't need that one. Hovering around. So, just to wrap up, over the months, years, you've seen loads of in-running scalping videos that show you how to do it. That one's a good example of how not to do it. There's some things that you need to be aware of though. Avoid sprints, certainly avoid sprints in the all-weather. You might actually also want to avoid long races where, 3 miles and above. The reason for that is that races like that, especially during the middle of winter when it's heavy ground and so on, the field quite often gets strung out. I mean, that last race was an example, in actual fact, with the Piley Master being quite a few lengths in the lead. So he was never going to come down or drift again very quickly. So you can get yourself into all sorts of trouble. If you're going to get involved in races that are 3 miles long or longer, think about treating it as a 2 mile race and wait till about halfway round before you start getting involved. Then you'll have an idea of how the field is and if there's anyone in way in front, and you can think about stopping, getting involved in that particular runner. The other thing to avoid, or typically avoid, is like that first one at Carlisle, where it's a novice race with a very short price favourite. That's another one to avoid. But if we have a quick look at the watch list, if I bring that across, there's the total for the day. Well, there's 20 quid to be added onto that, so £16 down. Very luckily, it has to be said. Not a major disaster in terms of money. I'm happy to discount this one because that was just me being silly. That one there was the real killer. I was just far too slow to react. Even that one, although that's turned out as a green, I did try to get out, but the bet at odds of 4 wasn't taken, which was annoying. I saw the danger and wasn't able to get out in time, and then I had a little bit of a deer in the headlights moment. So we've finished up with 15 quid loss and one very tired host. So I'm away for a lie down. If you've managed to reach this far, well done. And I'll catch you on the next one. Cheers, guys.